You are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do.
Hi, my name is Kat and welcome to Good-vibe-Nation. Today I'm going to discuss the art of acceptance with my very dear and wise friend Sarah, who is a gifted intuitive counsellor. I wanted to create this video to help others to see how possible it is to raise our vibe to a place of acceptance, that we can experience and live our lives with peace of mind. So if you've seen any previous Good Vibe Nation that I've shared so far, you will know that it's because of you, Sarah, that I have been able to take stock of my life. Your emotional support, asking me how I felt about each area of my life, is where the ingredients came from. You taught me what acceptance means and how mastering it in its 3 different areas means I'm actually running my life and not letting my ego, chimp child, whatever you want to call that self-sabotaging part of you, that part of my mind, to run it for me. I'm eternally grateful for you being so willing to share your outlook on life and for our fun friendship. It was 14 years ago now when you first encouraged me to step back and really look at my life and just simply where I'd come from, where I was at and where it was that I wanted to go. So for those who haven't had a spiritual coaching session with you, may have this opportunity to listen to your take on life. How once you master the art of acceptance, then you've mastered life. Right, so in this video we would just cover the 3 following areas. Number 1, self-acceptance. Number 2, accepting others. And number 3, working out what is acceptable to you.
So that was a really nice introduction, Kat. And thanks for your kind words. So yeah, let's hope today that others can be as interested in the art of acceptance as we are. To me, acceptance has a positive effect on your life. You know, there's friendships, decision making, where you live, your career. You know, as far as I'm concerned, there is no aspect of your life that doesn't get affected by acceptance. We all know that acceptance means that things are not perfect, and this is true. Nothing in life is perfect. Not one of us. Yeah. Although we might think we are, we're not. What acceptance does when you focus on it, it means that things fall into perspective. So, I mean, this is only my opinion, Kat.
Of course, yeah.
But what acceptance does, when you focus on it, it means that things fall into perspective more. So you no longer seek perfection or get stuck in the trap of complaining about things all the time. You just think, oh well, hey ho. So by being aware of ourselves and the things that we do not excel at, we can give ourselves a wee bit of a break, you know, not be so hard on ourselves. For example, my lack of sense of direction is pretty poor. And I used to get myself into a right flap, as you well know, Kat. But now, because of sat-nav, I don't have to worry about it. Do you see what I mean? So I accepted that I had a really poor sense of direction, and then fortunately the sat-nav came into play, and so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Do you see what I mean? Totally, yeah, but at least I accepted that and, you know, didn't get frustrated about things. So now I don't worry about it. This is another part of my acceptance that I had to learn to accept. And you can learn it because it's an art. You don't have to be born with it or have it as a gift or anything like that. I choose to focus on the things that are natural to me and accept my limitations. Otherwise, it's a pounding on a locked door when you haven't got the key. So why get frustrated about things?
So true. It's so liberating, Sarah. Giving yourself a break and perhaps asking for help where need be, because surely when you think about it, no one wants to be great at everything.
Well, you can't. No, you can't.
Despite the pressure, though, to be outwardly perfect these days.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
And actually, I don't think it really engages folk if we're unaware of our limitations. because that's the realm of the narcissist, right? And for me, it really turns me cold when I see that in others. I myself, I'm dreadfully impatient, which plays into why I'm not great in the kitchen. Yeah. But thankfully, I live in a time where you can cheat and still eat, and still eat well.
Still eat well and healthy.
And thankfully, my darling's a good cook, and so we share that. We work as a team, so I'm not going to feel pressure to force myself to go all Gordon Ramsay. Particularly now that I'm a mum, there's a lot of that, but I accept myself, and I'm not going to buy into sort of any negativeness that I should be better or,
Well, as I say, give yourself a break. So self-acceptance. It's hard because you have to be brutally honest. When you start being truthful with yourself, before long, you become really sincere with others, which strengthens the bonds between you.
It does.
So we can all be really intolerant and get really ratty, angry even.
Yeah, we can.
But we also can be kind and loving and considerate. So be honest and real and accept yourself, warts and all.
Yeah,
Don't try and get the warts cut off. They're there. So this is all part of self-awareness, which in turn leads to a healthy level of self-worth.
It does, yeah.
Try writing a lot of your positive and negative traits and see what comes up. And if you feel like it, you can even ask one of your pals to give you constructive criticism, but
Good idea.
be very careful who you choose.
Yeah, it could be painful.
Yeah, it could be bad.
Painful.
So accepting is letting things go and not getting uptight about things. And it's basically training your mind towards positivity rather than negativity.
Exactly, because if you think that the opposite to acceptance is complaint, so that's just where we're left feeling dissatisfied, right? So if you're really honest, have a think, have it and write a list. Think about how much you are in a state of complaint in each of your life's ingredients, and how much acceptance opposed to put downs you give yourself, and then how gracious you're able to be towards others. It's an interesting thing to do.
Acceptance of others comes from noticing where you spend your mental energy, and note that the mental energy is not unlimited. So when you begin to notice your thought process, you'll highlight what is playing on your mind.
Exactly.
And what is keeping you from having peace of mind. What you might want to consider is applying more acceptance to stop feeling low and frustrated. I see this time and time again with some of my clients. It's very common to get caught up thinking that our way of doing things is the right way and things like that.
Sure.
And that can lead to unbalanced relationships.
It will,
if you're not prepared to give a wee bit of give and take. It could be said that it's almost as if they enjoy living through that.
Your clients?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that they create and expect everything to be a drama. And by choosing not to accept others, they end up being totally disgruntled. And, what's the good of that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So you can train yourself to be a wee bit more easy-ozy, to just worry about the serious stuff. And when it actually happens, that's the key. Don't worry about if it's going to happen. When it's actually there, then do something. We can learn to accept that what others do may not chime in with you, but that's the way they are. And
Totally.
accepting is letting people be.
Yeah.
Not read into your opinions, and since no one else likes to feel as though they're being judged.
No,
Do you see what I mean?
No, of course not.
And so the great thing about acceptance, that it is an art, and so it can be learned.
You're so right. We're not born with acceptance, are we?
No.
I see that living with a toddler.
Yeah.
That they have to learn that not everything is on their terms. Yeah, exactly.
But children learn by pushing boundaries, don't they? And when we grow up, we know what is socially acceptable and how to live by this. We learn to take full responsibility for our actions. Well, hopefully we do. So what I hoped from joining you today, Kat, was to plant the seed of self-awareness, really, that people connecting with Good-Vibe-Nation will take time to work out what is acceptable to them. When you set your own standards for every area of your life, it gets a whole lot easier.
It does.
So think, for example, what standards do you want in your relationships? And if you're not happy with work, for example, or if you just cannot accept a trait in a friend's life. So this is then the time to move on. When you set boundaries, you cannot be brought down by them. Do you see what I mean? So since you know what is right for you and are able to walk away from things that are not right for you, you don't have to get into arguments with others. You can respect your different views and agree to differ. So, I was saying about children and the boundaries. So when you set your own boundaries, you can't be brought down then. Since you know what is right for you and are able to work out from things that have happened that don't work.
Sure.
So you don't have to get into arguments with others or, all you can do is just respect different views and, again, agree to differ. Funnily enough, I was talking to a good friend of mine and as a matter of interest, I asked what his take on acceptance was. And he said, it's about control. Initially, I thought, I don't agree with that. And then when I thought about it a bit more deeply, I could then see exactly what he was meaning. Not a wish to control others, but simply taking control of your own life. It's a different way of looking at it. So always be truthful to yourself. Don't behave in a way just to please other people. Do what you want to do and what you believe to be right in a way that then enables you to feel proud of yourself. You then become the driver and not the passenger of life. So basically, there you are. You have it.
Love it. Yeah, you do. Brilliant. Thank you, Sarah.
That's all right.
I hope that this has given you food for thought, lots to consider, right? So the 3 seeds sown today are, just to recap, so the 3 areas of acceptance, and when applied, you will experience peace of mind. And that's, number 1, self-acceptance, then number 2, accept others, and finally, just working out what is acceptable to you. So
finding your own level of acceptance.
Exactly that. And I really hope for those listening, thank you, for listening to us. And I really hope that you take time to think on these. They've been life changers to me and my vibe. And so, But I will just say, don't pressurise yourself when you're thinking about these. It's taken me years to de-trouble my mind, and the soothing balm of acceptance is a daily choice of mindset for me, just to keep away from unnecessary drama. But being human is hard. We all have our moments where we get all me. I know I get my toddler moments, my husband will tell you. I just get less when I keep my vibe in check, when I work out how I wish to spend my precious time and my spare time, with whom and where. When I do this, and when I keep the right mix of my life's ingredients, I don't get down so much. No. And I don't react, and take other people's troubles to heart. So why not start by looking at these 3 areas this week and build up to, if you look at 1 this week and then just build them up over the coming months. Once you start, believe me, you will wish to expand your tolerance levels and experience acceptance in all of your life's ingredients. We know. So that's all for today. So if this video has resonated with you, then please do check us out on all of our social media channels. It would be brilliant if you could spread the word of getting more good vibes going for the nation, and stay tuned for details on how to book a Skype session with Sarah. So thanks for listening. Be brilliant and be yourself. Or as we say, always see the sunshine that is in your life.
Yeah.
As still. Sarah is an amazing spiritual coach, having been born psychic and taught to respect this gift by her father, who also had the sight. Sarah is able to reveal parts of your nature. I don't know how, but she does, that you know, parts of your nature that you may be blinded to. And I totally recommend a session with her if you're feeling lost and looking for direction in your life. Her sessions take the form of a tarot reading, and don't let the dark associations of this word close your mind to the possibility of the freedom that knowing more about where you've come from, where you're at right now, she'll know, believe me, and where you wish to go. So if you do wish to know what is on the cards for you, then get in touch and book an appointment with Sarah at £50 an hour.
The secret weapon isn't secret anymore. You're a driver, never passenger in life. And when you're ready, you won't have to try, 'cause you